And magic. We should be live. Hello, everybody. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Michael.
How are you?
Well, he's a disembodied voice today because we are doing an exciting challenge for the Godot Jam over here, which we're proud partners of. So I'm a little bit jittery. Mikey's full of coffee, and we have set ourselves a challenge. Mikey, what's our challenge?
I'm going to sit here and watch you do a game in 90 minutes.
We've done take one for the team, Mikey.
Yeah. Well, since I'm a disembodied voice.
Oh, yeah. So the idea is we're going to make a very, very, very simple game in 90 minutes just to see if we can do it. This is partially inspired by BitBrain, who did a very simple game in 180 minutes, but we don't have 180 minutes. So Mikey's going to field questions. Mikey is going to be in charge of telling me how much time I've got left whenever I panic. And more important than all of that, I've got too many... No, fine. More important than all of that, I should tell you the kind of game we're going to make. So the theme of the jam is growth. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to move my hands a lot. The theme of the jam is growth. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a packing crate that keeps arriving, and we're going to have some vans. I'm going to have to get the right packing crate into the right van, and the amount of crates is going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And I might even make the crates grow slightly each time. Not sure yet, but I might. Once the van is full enough, you can set it off and get the new one. And the longer you can get this going, the better. But if you miss, the game's over. Okay, so that's our very, very simple thing. So, with all that
said... It has to be simple, doesn't it? It's only 90 minutes. Well, actually 89 minutes now. But
does that make sense to everybody? And more importantly, can people hear and see us? Otherwise, I'm going to feel very silly.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you can hear me. Can the audience hear? Hi, folks. Mikey, can they hear?
I believe so. I'm one of the audience, so I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Not now, last pass. Yes! Okay, Colin can see. I'm hoping he can hear, because otherwise I don't know how he answered that question. Very confused. All right. Fantastical. So I'm going to go over here, and I am going to... Let's put me a picture-in-picture for that. Ooh. I'm very small. Okay.
Let me know when you want me to start the timer, or are you going to do a bit more introduction first?
Well, first off, does that game idea make sense to everybody? Mikey, does that make sense to you? I mean, you've seen it, but does it make sense to you?
I'll repeat it back. We're going to put crates in the back of a van.
Yes, at high speed, basically.
At high speed.
Nice. That's basically it, yes. All right. Let me make sure I've got the right windows open. Dun, dun, dun. Hi, Roderick. Hi, Colin. I don't think I'm going to get that person's name right. I'm sorry. Hi, Jessica. Okay, everybody. Let's get started. I have here a copy of Godot. At least I think it's here. I'm going to minimize that. So I've got my notes over here. I'm going to show you my notes. Here's our game plan. We're going to install a palette so we can be working with a color palette. We're going to have a basic layout. So gonna lay boxes around. Mikey has made an asset we will be using, but that doesn't go first. Put in our controls, make a template for a box, make a template for a van, make a launcher, make sure the physics work, and then we'll start putting the gameplay elements in. So color variations for the boxes and the vans, a progress bar that's going to tick up, and if it gets all the way to the top, you're going to lose. Some areas to detect when things go in the van so you can score. The ability to send and summon vans, and scoring logic. If we get through all of that, I'm going to be very impressed. But, Michael.
I'm ready with the timer.
That was my question. Are you ready with the timer? Michael,
I am.
Would you care to count us down?
I certainly can.
I thought you
Are you ready, Ian?
No.
Are you sure? Okay. We're going to launch in 5, 4, 3, banana, 1.
Yeah, there's a banana.
Go.
All right, let's make a new project. So, brand new project, and I'm going to call this Crate Packer. And let's put that in my repos folder. Oh, never mind, let's put that in my documents folder. It lives here. And it's going to go onto this monitor. Fantastical. There's a couple of things I want to put in. Now, first, as I've said here, I'm going to be working within a color palette. I like to do this from the beginning because I find it much easier. So I've gone over to low spec, and there's a few nice palettes here, but I'm actually thinking Candy 12. What do you think of Candy 12, Michael? I'm going to wait a few seconds so you can catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so the way I'm going to use this is I'm going to go into my asset library, and I want simple color. Simple color template editor. I'm just going to click that, download, install, blap. And then I'm going to go to project settings, and I'm going to go to plugins, enable it, boom. And we now should have a simple color template thing. Why are we doing this? Well, if I bring up a scene, so let's bring up a nice 3D scene, and I'm going to give it a mesh instance just to show you something. You can tell the teacher in me is taking over. Let's do, where's the meshes? I can't see. Cube mesh. Yeah, okay, great. So if I go into here, make a new spatial thing, go into our Godot, I want to use these color palettes. So I'm going to go into our palette. I'm going to download the palette file. No, not. I'm going to. Nope, wrong button. I'm going to click on it. Haha! I'm going to drag and copy. Boom. I'm going to move that out of the way. And then in here, I'm just going to boop and load. Oops, sorry, and update picker.
I like that. I like the way that you can do that.
And now it should have them all here. So that's our color palette. That's what we're going to be working with. And that's going to make things way easier. So, thingy 1, done. We're almost there. Look at that. We basically have a game. Okay, let's make a basic level. So, what I want to do is I'm going to make this a nice dark thing. I'm going to call this floor. In fact, you know what? Let's make a spatial, not spatial, what's it called? Static body.
Of course, this is going to be a physics-based game, so that's why we need our static body.
Exactly right. Now, I could be using CSG meshes, but CSG meshes or CSG bodies can't access physics properties, so it's going to have weird results. It's going to be a floor, and let's go crazy. 10 centimeters tall and 100 meters in all directions. That's pretty floory. What do you think of this color? Yeah, I like this color. Great. Now I need to give it collision. And that's going to be a very simple box. Now, I want this collision shape to be the same size box. I could just go in here and do create single collision, convex collision, but it's a box. Let's just keep it simple. I happen to know, because I made it, that it's 100 by 100, so the extent will be 50 by 50. Great, there is our floor. Okay, let's go to project settings. I'm going way faster than I normally would if I was teaching, because I'm not teaching. It's fine. How am I doing for time, Michael? Don't tell me. I don't really want to know. 3D physics layers. Great. So
you're doing absolutely fine.
Boxes, you're going to be vans, and you're going to be floor.
So James has just got a quick question. He's missed the beginning of the stream. That's absolutely fine. So the type of game that we're doing, it's going to be a box packing game, and you're going to be against the time. We're going to try and fill a van, and then send the van off. I don't know how many vans we're going to have. We're going to play with that as we go.
Don't know yet.
And there's going to be a timer counting down, and when you successfully put a parcel in the van, you gain some time. Otherwise, you're losing time all the time, and that will be the win and lose condition. Eventually, of course, you'll probably lose because we'll make things go faster or whatever the mechanic happens to be. It'll be a high score game.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to bring in your Luton right now. This is all the right file. This is the right file. Boop. Luton is a type of van, and I'm going to rename. You know what? I'm just going to open it. You inherited. There's my van, and I'm just going to export this mesh. So save branches, scene, van, mesh. Just van, it's fine. Great. So, just to get a basic layout, let's bring in some vans. So I'm going to instance in van, boop, and with that done, we can get rid of the GLB file because we're not going to need it. Okay, let's call you level and save you so I don't lose everything. Level. Awesome. Okay, so here is van 1, and we're going to be looking from the top. So let me take a look at my notes. What do we want to put you? How about?
Time to put the camera in.
Yeah, I'm going to put the camera in. Let's put the camera in. That's a good idea. Here we go. Camera.
As well as being a disembodied voice for today, I will also be asking questions as we go along.
I like
Hopefully, good questions.
Hopefully. Okay, so here's my camera, and I want it pointing directly down. So -90. This is going to give us a fake 2D with a lot of perspective built in, which I quite like. I've also realized am I facing the right way? Oh, I am. We need a height for this. 15 meters? See how that looks. You're not part of the floor. You can go here. Preview. No. 30 meters?
It's going to have to be a bit higher, isn't it?
I think 30 is probably okay.
We're going to put the vans towards the bottom of the screen?
We are going to do exactly that. Well spotted, Michael. This is...
Or rather, are we going to move the camera? Does it matter?
No, but everything will spawn in at 0, 0, which is going to make things a lot easier for us. So I'm going to put van number 1 right here. That's just a placeholder so we can see what the layout's going to be. We are also going to have a little launcher. So let's make a brand new scene called launcher. And you're going to have a mesh instance, which I'm going to make... Oh, I don't want a prism. Where's pyramid? Help. I've lost everything. Fine, you're prism. What do you mean prism? Okay.
I do that all the time in Blender when I'm adding something. It's like Shift A. Where's the cube? I need to add the cube back in.
And I think you should be a little narrower than that. How's that for an arrow? It looks pretty good.
Yep,
90.
that looks very good.
Do I mean that's 90? You know what? You'll do. Okay, let's put you in the palette. So new spatial material, albedo, and boop. You'll do. Okay, launcher TSCN is part of the level. Let's instance you in. Okay, I can't see it because it needs to go up a bit. And way too far. Really? Oh. Everything's fine.
It's okay.
I think about here. Okay, you need to face the other direction, don't you? Actually, do you? Which way is... Yes, you definitely need to face the other direction. Okay, so when you're dealing with 3D in Godot, thing to remember is this blue axis, the Z axis, or if you're an American, the aluminium axis, faces towards the blue arrow. So that's what we want. That's forward, which means that this mesh is facing the wrong way. So on my y-axis, I'm going to rotate you by 108 degrees, save you, and you're now in the right place. That's looking pretty solid. So let's see how you look. My default scene is going to be level. Okay, doesn't do anything yet, but it's a start. Let's see how we're doing here. Boop. Basic layout. Splat. Let's look at some controls. Okay. Project settings. Input map. I'm going to do left. Now, ideally, I'd be using the mouse to do this. However, getting the mouse to feel fluid and work properly in the 90 minutes sounds like a tall order. So, I'm going to do this with keyboard. But it is a thing I'm aware of. Okay, we have left, we have right, we have fire. I'm using a British keyboard, so I'm going to use the WSAD format. So left is going to be A, right is going to be D. If we have time, I'll put controller support in as well. Blap. Okay, so there's controls mapped. Now let's actually make the controls do something. So to do that, let's go into the launcher and give it a little script. Ta-da!
Tell you what, controls, we were talking about this, well, several times we've talked about how a control system really changes the feel of a game.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we've got other constraints today. Yeah, you know, we're 10 minutes in, and we want to be able to finish this game in 90 minutes. So we need to pick a control system that we're going to be able to do that with. Nothing too, nothing too complex.
Yep. Okay, so here's what we're doing. I've given myself a basic amount of power. We're going to be using rigid bodies, so we're going to be applying force. How much force are you applying? 1,000 is a number I picked out of the air. It's just what I'm using. Every frame, I'm going to get this variable called steer, and it's going to be input dot get action strength right, which means how far right am I pushing? If I start using a controller, that means I'm going to start having analog controls or digital controls. However, it's going to be a number between 0 and 1, which means that I can subtract the input dot get action strength of left. So if I press left and right at the same time, well, that's 1 minus 1, which is 0, which means you're not moving, which is exactly what I want. So rotation. Now I should use rotation, but I never learned radians, so I'm going to use rotation degrees. Dot y plus equals steer. Let's just see how that looks. Okay, nice and smooth, but a little slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply it by rotation speed.
So that's a good tip there for anybody who's new to making any games or coding in general. Well, after you've written something, test it.
Meow. Okay, so we can tweak that variable nicely. Now, I don't want the arrow to go all the way over here, so I'm going to have to clamp that value. That's easy enough. Rotation degrees la 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 equals clamp value. That means take this value and make sure it has to be between these two. Take this variable and put it between these two values. So rotation degrees on the y-axis. So that's the one that goes through the middle. So that's the lefty-righty spin. And my minimum is going to be 45 degrees. My maximum is going to be 45. Let's see how that works. I mean, not bad, right? How are we doing for time?
Oh, plenty of time. We're 15 minutes in.
Great. Okay, so we've got a basic control system. I haven't got fire yet because we don't have a box. So let's make a box and then come back to that. So I'm going to start with a box template, which is going to be a new 3D scene. You know what? It's not going to be a spatial. Let's change the type to a rigid body. Dun, dun, dun. And you are going to be meow, 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 called box. I'm going to call it box template because I want the ability to bring in various types of boxes, right? I might even put different sizes and maybe even different shapes if I have the time. But let's get the basics working before we get too fancy. So there's my mesh instance. That's going to be a box. Just a new cube, that's right. And you know what? Let's give you a material that's in the palette because I love this plugin. And we're going to make you this lovely yellow color. See how that looks? Why not? And I need to give you a collision shape. Okay, now at the moment, this box is 2 meters cubed, which is way too big. I'm going to try 50 centimeters cubed, which means I have to go to the collision shape and change the extents. And remember, the extent is always measured from the center. So if this was a circle, it'd be a radius. It's not a circle, so it's not a radius. So if my box measures 50 centimeters, then the extent is 25. I have to close my eyes to do that because I have a drama education degree. I don't have a maths degree. Okay, so let's save you as a box and let's make a new folder called boxes.
I'm sure you're not the only one who does that.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set you in as sleeping. So when you come in, I'm going to just see what this looks like in game and don't do anything yet. I'm also going to put contact monitoring on and 1. That means it's going to be able to respond to signals. How many things it's going to check for when it touches things? Just 1. I will probably have to change the mass and things in a minute, but I do want to make sure it's on the right collision layer. So it's a box and it can interact with the floor and the vans. Great. Let's just see how this looks. So I want this to be in the same place as the launcher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new, as a child of level, a new spatial. I'm going to call this boxes, just so I can have them all in one lovely place. Now, I want it in the same place as the launcher, but not a child of the launcher. So I'm going to make it a child of the launcher first, and then move it. Ooh, I like to move it. But I can't see that very clearly, which is what I was worried about. That's really hard to see. So, first thing we can do, we can go into our materials and get, I like to move it stuck in my head.
It's stuck in my head as well at the moment, thank you.
You're welcome. That's okay, but it's still hard to see. Now, being able to see is kind of critical in this game, and I actually don't want that emitting. It doesn't look right. So instead, let's very quickly make a world environment. Now, the reason everything looks washed out in blue is that we're reflecting the sky. We're getting a lot of skylight. In fact, we're not reflecting the sky, we're just using the default environment, and we're being illuminated by the sky. So instead, new environment, and everything goes black. We're not illuminated by anything, we don't have a sky. So let's click on the environment, go to background, and make, I don't know, background black. Now, I don't want any sky contribution to this, and the ambient color shouldn't be white. So let's give you, oh, it shouldn't be black. So let's give you a white ambient color. How's that look? Not great, but we're working on it. So next up is a directional light. Now white isn't actually in palette. Okay, so directional lights. Doesn't matter where this is in the scene, because it's going to apply it to everything. So let's move you like so. And you know what? This ambient light is way too strong. So let's put you down here. And take my directional light in local mode. And just... And let's enable shadows.
Ah, that looks brilliant. There we go.
Okay. Starting to look good. Now this van isn't in palette yet, but we haven't made the van, so that's okay. In fact, I haven't made the van scene, which should be coming up in a moment. But I also want to make sure that my box is slightly higher. So let's put you up at 1.5. How's that look? And I don't want this launcher to actually cast a shadow because it's confusing. So let's go into here, we'll go to geometry, cast shadows off, save that, and see how that looks. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I also think the van needs to be just a little bit further here. So let's call you 5.5. Great. Okay, so now let's make a van template. Okay, now a van template is going to be a static body. So let's make you a static body. And I need a mesh to come in. Luckily, I have this as a mesh. So you are a mesh. Let's make you local.
What did you call me?
You're a mesh. Actually, I don't need to make you local. You're just a scene. So let's keep it that as a... no, I do need to make you local. I do need to make you local. Stop it. Stop it. It's not a placeholder. It's local. Okay, everything is fine. Now, I can go in here and go... it's static, so this should work fine. So I've just made a tri-mesh static body. Now, this might be overkill. Because I actually only need 4 boxes, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to make a brand new box shape. And I'm going to start with the base. And it doesn't have to be perfect from this angle because it's, you know, a top-down game. But...
It's good to get it as close as possible, though.
It's good to get it as close as possible. Okay, yeah. So you are floor collision. And let's see, you're 2 meters on the X, you are 3.5 on the Z, and you are 0.1 on the Y. And I'm actually just going to move you up a little bit. Great. While we're here, let's get this in palette, which is not an expression, but I'm making it one. Okay. Roughness, sure. No, too much. How does that look? It doesn't look because it's not in game yet. Let's put it in game. So I'm going to go here, make a new folder. How we do for time?
Let's have a look. So you've got 1 hour, 9 minutes, 20 seconds left.
We are doing just fine. Okay, so yeah, I actually don't want you. Let's make a new spatial node. I'm using these as organizers, right? So I can have the boxes and the vans easy to see and easy to organize. And if I need to, I can just, hide all boxes, hide all vans. Vans. And let's import in van template. Great. And we said that this had to be 6 meters on the X. How's that look?
Good.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate you and go minus, on the x-axis, let's see, -3, nope, -5. And duplicate you and put you at +5. Awesome.
They're all ready to be loaded.
All ready to be loaded. Okay, so now we can go over here and I've made a box template, so I'm going to mark that off, and I've made the van template. Controls kind of work and the launcher kind of work. These are both the same thing. So now let's make the launcher work. Okay, so the launcher already has a script. So every physics frame, we're going to check if input.isAction pressed. So if someone's pressing the button down, and we want the fire button, blap. Make things work. And we're done. The game, no, that's not how that works. Okay, so if you're pressed, you need to do something. What do we need to do? Let's track the current box. So, because we're going to load in a bunch of them, right? And let's say that we want to bring in the boxes. They're going to be spawned in by the launcher. So the box is going to be a preloaded scene. No. Thank you. Box template. Okay. So if someone presses fire, the current box is going to be moved. So let's put in some logic to spawn the box, which means we're going to need a timer. And let's say there's going to be ½ a second between boxes appearing. It's going to be a one shot, and it's going to auto start. So I'm going to take this box and take it out of the level. You know what? This is wrong.
Part of me really wants you to make, at some point, not now, but make the vans a rigid body rather than a static body.
We'll talk about it. Okay. Oh, no, I haven't finished the vans. Everything is fine. I need to put more collisions in. Otherwise, something terrible is going to happen.
It'd be a bit more challenging.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about there. You're a box shape, and you go wibbledy. And wibbledy. This is very rough and ready. Wibbledy. Okay, your rear collision.
Unfortunately, the walls, you can just do one and duplicate it, can't you?
I can, yes. And the reason I'm not duplicating the rear wall is if I resize the duplicate, it'll resize the original as well, which is not what we're after. How's that look? By the way, you did a great job with this van, considering you did it in like 40 minutes, 20 minutes, or however long it took you.
I don't know. I just got down to modelling. Grabbed the blueprint and off I went.
Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. What? Why are you over there? I didn't want you there.
It did make me laugh when I realised I put all this detail into the model that was going to be seen from the top.
I know. I'm glad you took the roof off, though, because that really helps. Okay, you want to be a little bit higher?
Yeah, I didn't think doing some sort of custom fading in and fading out of part of the model was going to be able to be done with everything else we need to do as well.
I don't really want to be messing with shaders. I mean, it'd be fun, but no. Okay, how's that looking? You are -2 on the X, which means you are 2 on the X. Nope, 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 nope. Yes, 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 yes. Yum, 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 yum. Sure. Those will do. Great. Okay, now, instead of the launcher spawning the box, the level's going to spawn the box. That makes a lot more sense. So let's make that happen. And you are going to say, I need an onReady variable. So onReady variable box is equal to preload, because I don't want to be messing around with this suddenly finding the file while it's working. Let's just have it loaded. And for now, we're just going to do that. Okay, so let's make a signal. And I'm tempted to give it a silly name, but I'm not going to give it a silly name.
Something nice and easy to type and remember.
Yeah. Spawn box. Boop. That's not a function. Yes, that's fine. Okay. So with that done, I can go back to the level and we have a brand new custom signal. So I can go to my launcher, go to my signals, there's my spawn box, and it's just going to go straight to the level on launcher spawn box. Great. So let's put in this logic. So what do we need? I need an instance of this box. So we have a variable called box, which is going to be, variable called new box, which is going to be the box as an instance. So what that means is take this scene and make a new instance of it, which allows us to bring in multiple scenes, which is what we want. Now I need to move that new box to where the launch is and slightly higher. So let's say new box dot global transform origin. So it's transform, its position, not its transform, its translation, that's the word I'm looking for, is equal to launcher dot global trans, no. Dot origin plus, I really shouldn't be doing a magic number here, box offset.
It looks good to me.
Great. Now let's actually bring it in. So add child. No. Where am I adding this? I'm adding this under boxes. So boxes, because a parent is allowed to call a function in a child, but a child should be signaling up to the parent. Otherwise, you're going to get some terrible spaghetti code. Add child, and this is going to be new box. Don't care what it's called. Okay. Now I need to set the new box variable in the launcher, and I've just told you that we can call a function down there. So what I can do is I can go launcher and I can just change the variable. Current box equals new box. Boom. Okay. So we now have box spawning logic. However, it's not doing anything yet. So let's make it do things. All right, so we have a timer in our launcher. Let's connect that. Boop. Yep, that connects to here. Emit signal, spawn box. Okay, so if we've pressed fire and we have a current box, and current box, which is the same as saying and current box is not equal to null, is the same thing, then I know. Then I want to fire it. So let's make a brand new function called fire. Got confused there.
We are about 1/3 of the way through.
Thank you. Okay, so what are we doing? I'm going to take the current box, and I want to add the central force. What I really shouldn't be doing is allowing nodes to just run functions in each other like that. So this current box system is a bad idea, but let's just get the math working for now. So current box dot add central force. So don't rotate, just add it from the center. Why aren't you working? Because I'm in the wrong... No. Hello? Why aren't you... Hello? You are not autocorrecting. Why are you not autocorrecting? Add central force, and I need to add the... Okay, so where is it being hit from? What direction is it going in? So it's going on the y-axis. So it's, sorry, on the z-axis, the fronty-back axis. So there should be vector 3, not on the x, not on the y. So we're not going left and right, not going up and down. We are going backwards and forwards. And if I'm right, just positive power should do it. However, if I do that, let's... Oh, wait, we haven't set current box yet, have we? Have we? Yes, we have. Whee! It's a bit strong.
That was very squeaky.
that was rather... Let's make you a bit heavier, shall we? Let's take off... Oh, no, we do want you sleeping. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's take off sleeping and use axis lock so you can't fall up and down. Okay, so we need to move the launcher and the boxes up. That's fine. So launcher... Because we just launched it straight to the back of the van, which, to be honest, I should have seen coming. You'll go up, what, another meter?
I suppose this all depends on the force we fire it.
Mm-hmm. Now, you'll notice, not only am I not rotating the force, every time I press it, I'm pushing the box again. Let's worry about the force in a moment. First, let's make the aiming work. So to do that, that's in launcher, isn't it? I need to rotate the add central force. So it's going to be rotated. And I need to tell it which axis it's rotating from, which, if I remember this right, is a normalized basis. Let's find out. Global not translate. Global transform dot basis dot y dot normalized. Okay. And that's a function, isn't it? And I want the rotation dot y. Now that is way too long, so let's just move you onto the next line. Really? Can't move you like that? Okay, fine. Be like that.
Stub and code.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Nice.
Once you've done that, I want to set current box to null and start the timer. Did I not start the timer? Oh. Once you've done that, set the current box to null and then just go, timer! Now let's make the timer do something. Everything's fine. Let me know if we have any questions, obviously.
I will do.
Okay, so these are now moving nicely. However, that's not enough force. Boing. So let's increase our force to...
It looks like they're in space, someone says.
Yep. Boink.
Hey,
It does look like there is space because they're not using gravity, but I can fix that. That's a really good idea. Let's fix that. Let's give the box a script, and it's nope, this is the wrong button. It's a rigid body, which means it has access to body shape entered. So what I'm going to say is when you hit something, linear, no, not linear, it's called axis lock, isn't it? Axis lock linear equals false. Okay. By the way, if you don't know how to find these things, if that looks like magic, I know that axis lock is here. If I mouse over it, axis lock linear, that's what I need to write in the script. So, if I'm right, we should now boonk, fall down when we pack. I think these boxes need to be bigger, don't they? Let's worry about that way later. Okay, so we can now launch things. Where's my notes? We can now launch things. We started playing with the physics. I think these need to be bigger. Do you think these need to be bigger, Mikey?
boxes. I think they could be bigger for presents, and then we can tweak it later.
Is the correct answer. No, don't enable speech recognition. Save. Boink. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, a couple of things. One, I don't want to be tracking these boxes, right? That's ridiculous. So, let's give you a visibility. That's the one. Visibility notifier. And when you exit the screen, then we're going to reload. For now, it's going to be a fail state, right? We don't have to call it a fail state, but for now it will be. Okay. So now we need to make some color variations. Now it occurs to me that we have a problem here. If I have these boxes in this lovely yellow color and the van in the lovely yellow color, it's going to be really hard to see anything. Also, hitting the floor should be a fail state. So,
we could perhaps make the boxes shiny compared to the vehicle, or metallic, or something to make them stand out against the actual color of the flatbed.
I shouldn't be doing this by name, should I? I should be doing this by collision layer. So value 4. Okay, so if the body's collision layer equals 4, in other words, if it's the floor, and that's a body as defined here. Just going to copy this. And that's is equal to 4, not set to 4. Okay, so now, if I bonk, great. Okay, that's a really heavy fail mechanic, but it'll do. So let's make a new instance. I'm wondering if we should put a floor
In the flatbed?
Like,
I can whip you up one quickly.
or I could just do this.
You override the... Oh, you're going to put a...
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright.
Yeah, they could be red boxes, TNT boxes.
Ah! Whose idea was that?
Well, we had explosives
Did
in the comments. Yeah. Glowy radioactive boxes was another suggestion.
If we have time, I'll make particles and we can have glowy radioactive boxes because that's an amazing idea.
That leak everywhere as well.
Thank you, Captain Scope Creep.
Yeah, you're welcome. Reporting for duty.
Okay. So you can now be this nice yellow color. Actually, that might work. And I don't like this purple color for here, so let's call you red.
That looks better. Yep, there's enough contrast in there.
Good. Okay. I need a file grabber, don't we? Let me look at my file grabber code. So for those who don't know, file grabber is a script that I use in pretty much every game I make. And rather than write the whole thing from scratch, I'm just going to copy paste it and talk you through what it does. But let's make a new script. You can be called file grabber. And you're going to live in the level. It's not a level, but whatever. I've opened my Canopy cars in the background, and I'm just going to copy that and paste it. Okay, so here's what it's going to do. I'm going to call this function as a singleton, so it can be called from any script in the game. I'm going to say, go to this folder. Here's a dictionary of all the, here's an array of all the files that we've picked up so far. And now I want you to open the directory, get the length of it, or start from the beginning, and while true exists, so in other words, go forever until I tell you otherwise, get the next thing. If there is no next thing, stop. If it doesn't start with a dot, so if it's not an import file, and it doesn't end with import, then append the folder and file name, and then when you're done with all of those things, return it. So let's save you and auto-load it. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, you just wrote a whole bunch of code outside the game. Yes, but I use this in everything. This is a tool. It's a bit like the color picker thing. So I'm sticking with it. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. All right, let's make some variations of these boxes. New inheritance scene.
We've got a question here. Will the project source be shared somewhere after the stream?
Sure. We can do that.
There we go. That answers that question. And Reuse, sorry if I butchered your name, he's just said he's just joined. What kind of game are we making? So we're making a quick fire game where we've got boxes and we've got to put them in the back of a van for delivery. If you don't get it in the van, you lose. If you don't get it in the van quickly enough, you'll also lose. We'll have a countdown timer, and each time you put a box in the van, you get more seconds, essentially. And if you don't get them all in time, then you'll lose. And the vans can be dispatched as well.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the dispatching might be how we do the scoring. You know, you don't get any points unless you've actually dispatched the van. Who knows? But we're trying to achieve this in only 90 minutes, and we've got 46 minutes remaining.
Thank you. So we are halfway through. Okay, so I don't know if we're actually going to make it, but we're going to try. That is a silly idea. Let's not do that. Okay. So we now have a single yellow box. Let's just make sure File Grabber is working. So in my launcher, it's not in launcher, it's in level. Okay, so that is no longer the case. Function. Ready. Okay, so when we're ready, we're going to populate an array. So let's make an array called boxes. And boxes is going to be set as file grabber dot get files, and then I just need the folder, and the folder is going to be boxes to launch. So I'm just going to copy that path and put that as a string. Okay. Then I need to set up randomize. because we're going to have more than one box. So let's make a couple more colors just for now. New inherited scene, box template in 3D. This is a bad time to do the bathroom, Jan. And we're going to call you box blue. I think we have a blue in here we can use. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the material override for this.
I think it's well within the rules if you need to take a quick bathroom break that I will pause the timer.
Nope.
Nope. You want to continue? Let's go, boys. Let's go.
New inherited scenes. We have blue. We have yellow. What other color should we have? Now, the reason I'm using this material override is it's not going to change the original box. And I don't have to worry about making things unique and so on. It's just going to make it much simpler. So, material override, new spatial material. No. New spatial material. Not writing a shader, thank you. I mean, they're fun, I just don't have the time. Red? Red, yellow, blue. Yeah, we should be okay for most cases of color blindness. I want to avoid red and green because deuteronomy is quite common. I don't usually like making things color dependent like this. So if we have time, I'll go back and change the shape. Okay, so you are box red. So let's see if the launcher will work. Launcher, level. See if the level will work. Okay, so now you are not box instance. You are boxes random integer.
So this is a great example here of now refactoring the code.
Yeah.
Now we're adding more functionality to the game itself.
And I want you to be boxes dot size -1 dot instance.
Yes,
you're a
extra
function.
thought for accessibility is always it's a challenging one. A lot of abled people totally forget about colorblindness and other disabilities, essentially. So making your game accessible to as many people as possible, and whether or not it's a mixture of colors, shapes, etc. For this type of game, spot on.
Non-existent function. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, so what happened here? I loaded it in, and it's a string. I don't want a string. I need to cast that as a file, so I need to use load. One more time. Blue.
But this time.
Red. Yellow. Red. Yellow. And when I run it again.
Nice.
Yellow. Blue. Da 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 da.
You're having too much fun. It looks like you made the... Oh, no! We've got the fail state working.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Okay, Vans. Now, do we think... All right, how about this? First, is that visible? Is there a white in this palette? No.
I mean, if we were doing shapes, I would advocate putting some sort of decal or the shape itself on the platform.
Yep.
In the back of the truck, so people can see very clearly that one's this shape, one's that, and one's the other.
Okay, so let's make some vans. We'll start with van template. I'm going to save you as van yellow. Really don't like using color as a critical gameplay element, but needs
we
must.
could use value, couldn't we? That's what's just been suggested in there, sort of light, medium, and dark, essentially.
Ooh. Yes, although I have kind of painted myself into a corner here.
Well, again, this is accessibility. This is something we can.
Yeah, no, I do like the idea. Let's save you vans to drive. Boop. Okay.
It's a very
new inherited scene. van template. I'm just going to start with 3 for now. And again, I don't want to mess with unique materials and unique properties and so on. So I'm just going to use material override. That's the wrong one. You bad monkey. That's the one I want. Material override, new spatial material. What's my other colors? Oh no. You can be red.
Can't remember. There was definitely a red one. Is it purple?
Blue.
Purple?
Yellow, purple, blue. Yellow, red, blue. Van red, great. And new inherited scene.
Yes, textures are another way that you could distinguish between things.
I think that's a really good way. So I have a particular hatred for the fact that we've kind of settled for red and green. I don't suffer from any kind of color blindness, but it just seems like such a silly idea. I remember he was playing APB, and the way you would tell friendly from enemy players on the minimap was red and green. And like, did you not check this with anybody? Like, statistically, that would have come up.
You'd have hoped so.
And what's the other one? Blue?
The baby blue.
Okay, so with that done, our vans need something else. So, position 3D. Going to quickly van spawner 1, van spawner 2, van spawner 3. Bip, bip, bip.
Nice and clear.
Okay, and let's make a function called new van or spawn van. Too late.
So we're no longer manually placing the vans in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
We are using a node called van spawner, and that is where the game will generate those particular entities.
Yep. Okay. For every child of vans, child, there we go. For every child of van, I might have an off by 1 error here. And what I want to do is say variable new van equals, okay.
You know, it's great that you guys are having the discussion about accessibility, because it means that we're aware of it. That's the most important thing.
Okay, so my vans thing has to be file grabber, get files. There's no way we get this done in time. Vans to drive.
It's pretty compelling as it is. 36 minutes.
Thank you, 36. That's my old stage manager training coming in there. Okay, load vans, and I'm just going to go random integer, which is a function, and I'm going to modulo that by vans.size -1, because of an off by 1 error. If you're not sure what an off by 1 error is, in computing we normally count from 0. So the first element in an array is element 0, the second element is element 1, because we're not actually counting what number it is, we're counting the offset. So we have an array, offset 0 is the first item. However, size is 1, so we need to account for that. Why are you there? You need to be there, and I need an instance.
We've got a bracket problem somewhere, apparently.
Yep. I think I fixed it. Go way up.
Okay.
So next with space. Boop, boop, boop. Great. Okay, so we need to do that. New van dot global Ah. Equals Vans dot child. No, get child. I dot global transform. Yes, that's good. Okay. So then I need vans dot add child new van. Maybe it'll work. It doesn't. It doesn't work. Because I'm not calling it.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
Let's try it again. Aha! You're a function. One more time with here. Randomize has to be called first. Okay, gameplay problem. Have you noticed my gameplay problem? It is possible to have two of the same color. So we
Is
need
that
to
a problem?
Yes. Because if I get a red one, what do I do with it? Or this blue one?
Will you get? Are they not getting? Ah, yes. Okay, fair enough.
So we need some sort of mechanic to account for that. So maybe you get extra points if it's the same color.
Yeah, that could work. Ooh,
Now,
I like that.
The benefit of this system, right, using this for I in vans dot get child count, is if I, no, what am I doing? Hello? Oh, right. I can't see vans anymore. So if I take all of these and I put on snap, because I got the power. Oops. Is that right? I've got the hedgehogs. Okay, so you guys should have a 10. So you're at -5, you're at -10. So there's a 5-meter distance between them. Great. See how game scales up. And let's put you at 10.
Ooh, 5 vans.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Oh, right, it hit the edge. I don't have an aiming mechanic in here. So the ones at the edge are going to be a little bit annoying to fill.
Maybe if we increase the velocity a little.
Sure. No! Okay. So we have a very basic system. Yeah, we can make the velocity faster. That's easy. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, put another 0 on the end.
And not, well, we don't actually want to reach the speed of sound.
Well, then it's just realistic packing. Welcome to Yeet Logistics. Yeet!
Okay. Now, what we don't have is any kind of scoring system. So, Alvat. Got an idea.
30 minutes remaining.
Thank you, 30. All right, animation player, new animation. And I'm going to call you Arrive. You're going to be a 3-second animation. And I want to take this transform. So, boop. on the z-axis, I'm going to move you by 10. Is that right? I'm going to move... Yes. Ah, it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. Because the transform is being applied to all of them equally, and that's not what I want. But it was a really good idea. Okay, so how do we get that working? We could just move the van. Like, just move the mesh.
Yep, that would work.
Because then it's going to be moving in relation to the van template. All right. Transform. Keep. Boop. Oh, you know what I should do? Use a Bezier curve.
Oh, does the floor want to be part of the van template? So we then bringing in multiple floors when we instance the van?
The floor is now part of the van the floor is part of the van template, but it's a child of the mesh that'll work with it. Okay, so we now have a Bezier curve, which I want to edit. I forgot here, edit Bezier curves. Here we go. And, okay, so we want you to be like that. That feels, no, that feels...
That works.
Kind of. I've overshot. Okay. However,
yep.
I've broken the instancing. So, van yellow is fine, van red.
Oh, I see. They all, yeah.
Van blue.
So I presume the idea there, Roderick was saying, what about its collisions? We're just moving the mesh from one place to where the collision is, essentially.
Yeah. And for some reason,
a little bit hacky, but it
very
works.
hacky. Very hacky.
But again, we are trying to make a game in only 90 minutes, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Like, if I get some on the floor here, if I, apparently I can't lose. I'm that good. Here we go.
Oy.
Oh, trick shot. Okay. Now, I need a way of tracking what van and what box has which. So, I need a new thing in each. So, they need a script.
I mean, there are all sorts of optimization and tweaks that you could do to this, like not allowing the player to fire until the animation is finished playing, or until 5 seconds or whatever, to stop them firing into invisible trucks.
Okay, I'm using strings for this, which is a silly idea, but... blue... And now I need the same with the boxes. So box template. Don't need any of this nonsense. Bye-bye. Export variable. What do I call it? Color. That makes sense. I should be typing this. I'm just going as fast as I can. I'm sorry. Where's box yellow? There's box yellow. Okay. Great. Box template yellow. Box blue. Box red. Okay. If body dot collision layer is equal to, and what did I make the van?
Ooh, I don't know. Can't remember.
Oh, hello. No, no, no. You are not a box. You are a van. Thank you. Value 2. Okay. So if you are loaded into a van, check matching color, spelled Americanly, mathsing, and I'm going to pass body dot color. Okay, why have I changed the name here? Because this is more readable. And when you're passing arguments between methods, it doesn't actually matter what it's called in either one, it just matters what its position is. We only have one argument, so I can call it whatever I like. If van color is equal to color q free. Nobody saw that.
I did.
Okay, so that should go in there, but this one should...
Something's going on. Head scratching time. So come on, hive mind.
If the body collision is 2, okay, so if the thing you're colliding with is a van, so that's 1, 2, 4.
Yep.
So if you've hit the right color van, why aren't you working? Okay.
It's not plural, is it? The fact that the layer is called vans.
No, because I'm using the,
Nope.
the layer number.
Okay.
I mean, because it works for the floor, right? Like if we hit the floor, reload current scene. Why are you reloading? I didn't say reload, I said queue free. Why?
Yeah, that's always the way. Roderick's just saying, at the beginning, you were, I'm not going to explain things fully. And now, that's typical Yan style, explaining things. I think that's a good thing.
Why? I don't like this bug. Okay. If body has... If body dot color...
Not being pernickety with an elif, is it?
I can't use color. That's a really problematic word. It shouldn't be. If body color... So if you have a body color... Will that work? Really? That. Oh, right. So if the van color is equal to my color, van color, ooh.
Is it anything to do with the collisions you made? Are they all on the appropriate layer?
They are on the appropriate layer. I'm thinking it's because I'm using a protected word. So color, C-O-L-O-U-R, is something in Godot. Which means I can't really use it. Because it's actually checking for a property.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is even worse. Did I just break my game?
No!
Body dot color. So van has a color. When I renamed the variable, it emptied itself. Look.
How odd.
Everything is fine. Okay, so we figured out a lot of ways it's not working. I don't want to play with bugs. Okay. I don't understand. If you're a static body, check the matching color. If the matching color is equal to this color, Q free.
What's the behavior you're expecting at the moment?
I want matching colors of the box to vanish if it's matching. Okay, so you are blue. I know what I'm doing. How are we doing for time?
We have 15 minutes left.
So red in a red van, that is correct. So the only reason that should be happening It's nothing to do with that. It's this. It's the visibility notifier. Because it's vanishing from view.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Great. So now I need a score.
We're going to do a score or a timer.
We can do
Or
both. But for
both?
now, let's do a score because it's nice and easy to do. And I'm going to go to the van template. Ew. Let's just use a group, it's quicker. Not ideal, but it is quicker. Okay, so we have game state, we have group, we have increment score. Increment score amount. Score plus equal amount. Great. Now we need some sort of display. So we need a control node. We need a canvas layer. On top of which we need a control node. Top of which, you're going to be full screen. Fine.
The people in the chat, where should we put our score?
Ooh. We should put it on screen.
Boom.
I need a font.
Times New Roman?
No.
Comic Sans.
I used to get Comic Sans as a college professor on finals papers, and it was so hard not to just fail them out of, thingamy.
How dare you use Comic Sans?
Oh. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have a font ready to go. There it is. Awesome. Label. Actually, you know what? Let's make a theme. Do we have time? No. How much time do we have?
We have 11 minutes, 25 seconds.
Okay, we have a thing called GameTheme.theme. We have a new default font. It's going to be a dynamic font. Blap.
Roderick says every truck should have a score over itself.
I mean, it could if we had the time. Okay, so now in the font settings 32. Great. But I actually need the full rect anchors, and I need you to be top right with a margin. 24 minus 24. It's fine. Okay. Need non-ready variable. Nope.
Yeah, label. Rah.
Text equals to string of the score. Maybe I should actually increment the score. Boxes. Get tree. Call group. Game state, which I believe I made lowercase. La 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 la. Everything's fine. Game state is all lowercase. Great.
9 minutes.
Thank you, 9. Oh, why did I have to give this such a long thing that I can't possibly spell? Okay. The value equals 1. Because I'm not actually doing it, am I? Okay, so we're calling increment score with a value. Level gets the amount, score is plus equal amount. Great. Function increment score. Okay. The group is called... I bet the group is the wrong name. Yup. Not games state. Game state.
Yes, Roderick just said in the chat, one too many S's.
Thank you, Roderick. Okay.
40 points.
Great. So,
Is it because they're hitting the collision multiple times?
for every one that hits the collision, it's 1, 2. They're bouncing.
Yeah.
I should be doing this in an area. But we don't have time for that. So, how can I fix that?
You could have.
I could turn off the monitor.
Once it's been detected. Yeah.
Contact monitor equals false.
And that'll just be for the one instance of the cube.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't work though. 16, 19? Nope. The moment it hits it, we have to turn contact monitor to false. Box template. The moment you hit the wall, we need to turn contact monitor to false.
5 minutes.
Thank you. Three, it should be 4. Wait. Stop bouncing. I might just keep the bouncing. I quite like the bouncing.
Ooh. I like how that bounced off the edge there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, look. The moment you hit the static body, you should not be monitoring contacts. And just to make that real clear, contacts reported equals 0.
That looks better
10,
so far.
13, there we go. 16.
Awesome. 3 minutes 45.
Okay, so at some point we need to make this more challenging. Like we have the basic game. Oh! Did you see that?
It's on the floor and hasn't.
Do you know why?
Go.
Because it bounced off the van. It's fine.
It technically got loaded and then it fell off. The thing is, you can't not hit the van.
Yeah, which means that the floor thing doesn't work.
This is very realistic, by the way. This is exactly how my parcels end up being all crumpled before I get them.
How are we doing for time?
We have 2 minutes, 55 seconds.
Trying to think what's the best thing to do in 2 minutes.
Have the score deprecate by 1 every second.
Sure.
As a proof of concept of the difficulty. Obviously, it will go negative almost immediately, but...
No, because I put out 5 seconds instead.
Good idea.
Now, I've used this one line 3 times in one script, so I should have just made that new function, but whatever.
We ain't got no time for refactoring. We've got 2 minutes.
Okay, one more thing I'm going to do.
I saw it count back once.
Yep, but I just thought of something.
Roderick's nailed it on the head there. Now is the time to make an Ultra HD trailer that has nothing to do with the actual games.
90 star cutscene, go. Okay, so if it's the wrong color, you're going to lose points. The score
this ain't no Raid Shadow Legends. Oh, it's the wrong color.
Yeah, if it's the wrong color, it'll go down by 1, and the score will tick down every 5 seconds. How are we doing for time?
We have 1 minute left. This is your 1 minute warning. And I won't do the countdown music from 30 seconds, even though I really want to. No, not just an Ultra HD texture, an Ultra HD texture.
Ultron texture.
Yes, exactly. We have 26 seconds.
Thank you. If score is less than 10, is less than -10, get tree dot reload currency.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've done
1.
it. I'm fine.
Woohoo!
Okay, so if the score drops below -10, you'll lose.
You get fired.
Yeah. So if I get these in the wrong ones, assuming I've done... Oh, no, if I get... I'm too good for this job.
Beep. Beep.
Oh, hang on.
Nice.
Let me actually make sure this works first. -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -6. Did we do it? Did we do it? Did we do it? Come on! Come on!
Hey.
So that was a thing that we just did. Ooh,
That was awesome.
this is very dark. What's going on here?
The sun has begun to set.
It has begun to set. Also, it's...
One man, 90 minutes.
So that was a thing we just did, everybody. How was that?
That was awesome. How are you feeling, Jan, after that?
I am fine. Everything's fine.
How's your blood pressure?
Everything is... Okay, now I can look at chat. F parcels. Oh, man. That was... I did not think we would have a functional game by the end of it. Like, it's a very simple game. So, things...
You know what? We could release that right now and do day one patches. That's what all the big boys do.
Day one DLC.
Yeah.
The
game.
Yeah. Okay, so what did I miss? The truck was fantastic. I'm just scrolling back on the thing. Hi, Adrian. Yeah, Mikey did an excellent job with the truck. It looks really good. Pardon me. The accessibility conversation was great. Okay, so things I would do from here. And what I'm going to do here is go back to picture. You know what? I'm just going to do the scene. There we go. Things I would do from here. Actually, let's do picture, even if I am a bit not working. Nope, too stressful. Just doing that. Things I would do from here. I would, first off, make the boxes pop in. I do a little tween. I don't like that they're just flat like that. I would have some moving texture progress bars so that you can see when the next box is coming, and then you just have a queue of boxes stacking up behind you. And when there are too many boxes, it fails. I would have the ability to have vans leaving and arriving at different times, so you don't have them all just there the whole time. And possibly the ability to send vans away when you think they're good. So if you think you're doing okay, you could take a risk and say, send van 2 off now. But to do that, you'd have to see what the next few vans are, the next few boxes are. Mikey, what would you do next?
I'd work on the score system.
Yeah.
I think that it's not reactive enough. It feels like it should be a bit more fast-paced than it currently is. It works brilliantly as a functional game.
I mean, it's a 90-minute proof of concept, right?
Exactly. So the next thing I'd work on would be, when I say score, it's more of, I'm alluding to it, the gameplay mechanic. I want to be able to be challenged by it, whether it's speed or whether it's the, as you were mentioning, different color boxes coming in and being able to see that. But adding that element of challenge. What is the core game loop going to be?
We could also add in a sort of pinball loop. So instead of launching when you press the button, launching when you release it, but when you hold it down, you're building up shot power. And that's going to give you a lot more control over where you're loading it in.
Nice. And also, the more damage the goods, the higher your score.
And we need last pick. I tell you what else I'd really love to do is have different size boxes. Like different shape boxes, different size boxes, have oblongs and spheroids and
things with origins in the wrong place, so they don't be like an old TV, yeah, because those don't have origins in the right place.
Yeah. Furniture,
yeah,
like that would be amazing. And right now, the only thing stopping me from taking my shot is the fact that in 5 seconds the score goes down. Ballistics and moving vans would be great. Things moving across the middle here would be fantastic. Some pillars and so on. Like, this is very, very simple, right? Directional light, very simple world environment. We have 5 of these vans, and the bit I'm really proud of, like the bit that I think really works, is if I remove one of the spawn points, the game works just fine. Right?
It gives you, yeah, far more flexibility. For instance, here, this could be a difficulty setting. You might start off with one van, and now we've got a level system. You know, the vans that come in, or different colours that come in. And this is scope creep at this point. Implementing each one of those things that we've discussed so far is probably another couple of days' work to get nailed down properly, if not a little bit more.
And we also have no polish, right? Because there's no time. But there's enough here to show that the basic concept works.
Yeah, you know what I'd love? Like little workmen or something coming across, just potentially blocking a shot.
Like carrying a pane of glass.
Definitely a pane of glass. I mean, whether or not that's a target that you would go for, or whether that would be a penalty. I mean, that's a
I would like to have different physics properties on these boxes. So some are heavier than others. We could even give some, like, bounces. Well, we can give them, like, a bounciness setting.
That'd be hilarious. Or make them all soft bodies.
I also want to put in, like, how long you've survived. Because there's going to be a point where you can't load more things in here. Like, already, this van here is starting to get clogged up with boxes.
That's the send the van off mechanic, isn't it?
I do like that just hitting the van counts. Doesn't matter if the box goes in there. Oh, all right.
It's a real life simulator at this point.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So that, folks, has been our very, very rushed challenge to make a basic game in 90 minutes. It has actually worked. We will put the source file up there if people want to play with it. Thank you so much, Mikey, for making that van, because that makes a big difference. Folks, if you haven't checked it out already, the Godot Jam is still running. You have like a day. So maybe rush if you make a new project. Do check out the website, which is gogodojam.com. I should probably get that.
I'll also do a plug for us, of course.
Yes.
If you want.
And could you link our Discord as well?
I certainly can.
So yeah.
If you want to come over
Canopy Games, we have tutorials on Blender and Godot, and more content being added frequently. Do check out our partners on Godot. Brain isn't working. On Jam's website. Go over to partners. You'll see free resources. You'll see paid resources. They've got some incredible streams on there. Some really lovely people. Thank you, Adrian, for putting this whole thing together. Thank you, Cats, for not being too distracting. I'd like to thank my agent, my manager, my manager's agent, my manager's agent's hairdresser, my label. I don't know. I don't have a fun sign-off for this, Mikey. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
No, that's fine. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure having you all here, and well done, Jan. It really is not easy being watched by however many people. Just one person watching is bad.
Well, it did actually help a lot, you dealing with chat. Like, I had no idea what was happening. I didn't even know there was a conversation about explosives, which would be fun.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, tear down the box yeet backer or whatever.
You want Green Dragon. So, there is a problem with Green Dragon.
Green Dragon is currently Dungeon Pack Dragon.
Yeah, this is our Dungeon Pack, if you want to make stuff in 3D. I had a debate with somebody on Adrian's YouTube channel, again, who tells me that Godot can't do 3D. Well, of course, technically it can, but it does it like open alpha. I'm like, this is demonstrably false. Can do great 3D, can do great 2D. Folks, make games, learn things, be excellent to one another, and party on, dudes.
Rock.
No. Bye.
I'm gesturing to the camera. I'm waving.
Bye, everyone. And we should be